your watch, and 12 o'clock solar noon. So whenever the sun is exactly on your head, then we will be calling it as the solar noon, or otherwise also we can define it as when sun is at its highest position in the day. Okay, so that is what we will call it as solar noon. So then this hour angle will be 0, obviously. And then, as I've said, it depends on where you are located. If you are in northern hemisphere, it will be due south, and if it is you are located in southern hemisphere, it will be due north. Next is elevation angle or altitude angle. The meaning is same, denoted by alpha. So this is the angle which will be formed between the height of the sun and the horizontal surface. So again, we know that the position of the sun changes due to various reasons, and it will follow some path from east to west. Of course, not exact east and the exact west. So the angle which that sun is making at a particular point of time in a day, that we are going to call it as elevation angle. So obviously, it depends on the latitude, that is the location of the place, and also the time of the year. So in the winters, you will find that the sun doesn't rises too much. Also, if we go towards polar, the sun will be very near to the horizon. So the angle of elevation will be very small, even though it is at the highest position in the sky. So this value will obviously vary throughout the day as well as throughout the year. Now, as this is again has nothing to do with the standard time, it has to do with the position of the sun with respect to the place that you are thinking. So obviously the elevation will be 0 at sunrise and 90 when the sun is directly overhead. So this is the important parameter in design, because when we talk about optimization of the placement or the angle at which we should place the solar panel so that the maximum radiation falls on the panel, in turn producing the maximum power, this optimization is important. So here the elevation angle will become important for us. Of course, other angles are also important. So you can note down the expression for this alpha. Now, as far as the derivation of these expressions are concerned, we will not go into that. Otherwise, this topic will extend too much. So you can write down this. So you can see this alpha is dependent on obviously the declination angle, the phi, and also the hour angle omega. So that is why it is difficult to predict, and that's why we have to optimize how we are going to place it. So as the topic progresses, we'll find out what could be the thumb rules for optimization of this placement and the angle. I hope you are with your calculator, so we can do some calculations today. Next angle is the azimuth angle, the alpha. So we have, yes, sorry, this is. I think I had to change the notation for this azimuth angle. Anyway, let us think the definition, and then we will talk about the alpha azimuth angle. So alpha we already know, that is the angle of altitude. So when we are talking about the location, we have this 360-degree on the horizontal plane. Okay, when we are seeing from the seeing from the top. So what happens is, suppose the panel is now oriented somewhere over here. Okay, so this is the angle which it can make towards the northern 0 or southern 180 degrees. So when we are saying 0, it is the due north, and when we are saying 180 degree, it is due south. So the point is, this angle is important to place either towards the north or towards the south. So in northern hemisphere, normally we are putting it as due south, and as I've said, in southern hemisphere we'll be putting it due north. So these are the only two locations. But when we have the tracking, this angle might be changing. So now next important thing is the apparent motion of the sun. Now what happens is, whenever the observer is at location, any location, let us say of latitude phi, what happens is the sun's position is going to change throughout the year and throughout the day. So we have to find out a plane in which the sun is traveling for one day. So obviously for 365 days we will have 365 planes, and then these planes are parallel to each other, and this one plane at that location will be tilted at 90 minus phi. The phi is the latitude angle. So here you can see, so all these three planes I have shown over here. So the maximum what you say height that the sun will gain on a day will be obviously at 12 local noon, and you can see that in winter on winter solstice the day is the shortest. That's why it is 7:30 to 4:30, whereas in what you call it as summer solstice, the days will be longer. So sunrise will be at 4:30 and the sunset might be around 7:30. Not sunset, but moreover the light would be available at that time. So sunset is at 7:30. So light can be available even more than that. So these are the planes that I am talking about. Then, and the angle what it is making is 90 minus 5. So same thing we can see from the top, so that you can have a different idea over here. So suppose we are located at 25 north, so roughly, you know, near the Tropic of Cancer or near Rourkela, we can say, or Bhopal or Gujarat, whatever you are talking about. So you can see here that the sun path, the sun will be most of the time, first of all, in the southern hemisphere, right? So hardly it is going to cross this what you say Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Cancer, because that is the maximum point. It will be going bit because it is 25 north. So now the simple optimization, if we don't have to put the tracking into account, you can understand that the panel must, which is in the north hemisphere, should be facing south direction, so that doesn't matter, this will be the variation throughout the year, but however at least the rays will be falling on the panel. It may be in a tilted direction. So obviously when we are talking about uh, southern hemisphere, we expect that the sun will be most of the time above this or towards the northern side. So we'll be keeping the panel facing towards the north. So that's why whenever you see a panel, let us say in India, it will be what you say facing towards the south, so that especially when it is a fixed position, so that it can optimize those things. Of course, we will prove that the due south is the best position. So this apparent motion of the sun, as I've said, it is at 90 minus 5. So when we see it from the side, we can have these three positions. So 1, 2, 3 positions, and these are the planes of the apparent motion what we are talking. So if we are to write down the value of alpha from this, we can write it as 90 minus 5 plus alpha. So of course this expression is for the northern hemisphere, where we are putting the panel towards the south. So alpha is the altitude angle, phi is the latitude angle, and obviously alpha will be smaller in the winter, and it will be larger. It will be larger in the summer for northern hemisphere. So we can find out how these angles are related in a bit simpler way. So this is the trivial diagram. Delta is the inclination that what we have due to the Earth inclination, and sun rays are coming now, let us say, parallel to this axis, this white line, which is the axis parallel to sun rays, and the angle between equator and that line is the delta. So now let us say we have a latitude of interest, let us say again somewhere around 20-25 degrees or something, with the angle phi. So the line, if I extend it to the center, and with respect to equator, the angle made will be phi. So then the zenith angle that is made, so you can translate this line over here, and the angle will become, that zenith angle will be phi minus delta. And if we can now have this north pole south pole joining with a line, then obviously this angle is now made as it will be 90 degree. So the angle, elevation angle here can be alpha, and from here you can find out this expression alpha is equal to 90 minus phi plus delta. So obviously this is applicable for the northern hemisphere, and similarly you can do the exercise for the southern hemisphere. So you can note down this alpha is equal to 90 minus phi plus delta. You can, of course, I'll share the slides, and then you can work on these angles, and you can understand how these things are actually calculated. So this zenith angle, whatever we have defined by zeta, or also it can be defined by theta z, it is an angle between the sun and the vertical. So if we are talking this as a elevation angle alpha, so this will become the theta z. So zeta obviously will be now 90 minus the elevation angle. So only the difference is zenith angle is measured from the vertical, whereas elevation angle is measured with the horizontal line or the surface where we are keeping it. So now another important point is the sunrise and sunset, because these are the two endpoints between which the sun will be available above the horizon, and the panels would be able to produce some power. So we have to find out this sunrise and sunset time, so that we can find out the total number of hours for which the sun is available. So obviously, for this we are going to set the elevation to be 0 when it is a sunset or sunshine, and sunrise and sunset, and obviously then elevation equation can be rearranged. So already I have given that equation to you, and then for this we can put this value of elevation to be 0 and rearrange this particular equation. So if we put the theta equal to 0, then what equation we are going to get is this. So you can note down this second equation, which is given in terms of omega, but S is now, because we are talking about either the sunrise or the sunset situation. So obviously this expression is in terms of the hour angle. Now with this we can find out the day length or the maximum number of sunshine hours. That is what I said, for how much time this sun is available over the horizons. So this for this we have to we can use the symmetry, because we know that the hour angle will be 0 when we have the sun above head, and it is starting from the sunrise. So the similar situation will be on the other side as well. So about this particular midday line, we have got the symmetry. So the total length will be simply 2 into omega s. So we are talking this in terms of the angle, not in hours. Of course, we can convert this by multiplying it by 15 degrees. So sunrise and sunset hour angles now can be converted by 15 degree, because one hour corresponds to this 15 degrees. So if we try to convert this, the maximum number of sunshine on a particular day can be 2, because of that symmetry. 15 is for conversion, and this is the formula for omega s we derived in the previous slide. So S max will give us the total number of hours. Now why we require it? So that if we know number of hours, and if we know hourly data of radiation, we can find out what is the total radiation available for the panel to convert the light into electricity. Now, obviously, we have seen this theoretical expression for sunrise and sunset, for the day length. But when we have to calculate the sunrise and sunset, we have to add and subtract whatever that omega s divided by 15. But then there is one term which is coming into picture, which is Tc by 60, and this Tc is called as the time correction. Now again, this time correction is not what you call it as something can be derived, it is the observational property. So these are the differences which are being observed in the sunrise and sunset, and that's why these values are given, what you call it as, empirically. It is not derived or something. So this equation of time correction coming into picture, because whenever the earth is moving around the sun, the solar time changes with respect to the local standard time. And also earth orbit and rotational speed of the earth is not fixed when it is moving around, due to the gravity and due to the nature of the orbit itself. So that's why there are certain fluctuations, and however, obviously these fluctuations are constant over the years, and that's why this equation of time correction is introduced based on our past observation, historical observations. So this gives us the amount of time to be corrected with respect to what day we are talking about. So this is the what you call it as, the variation that has been observed. So these you can see that equation of time is in the minutes. So that's why we are dividing it by 60, so that we can convert into into hour. So for January, this would be about -4. Somewhere around in February end, we have got about 15 minutes of correction, that is negative correction. But when is about 300, so roughly what, October, month of October, it will be +15. So you can see that moreover the variation is between plus minus 15 minutes, and that is what we have to adjust. So these are the formulas. If I have to collect them all, so make sure that you have got all these formulae. If you are missing something, please write it down. And next, what we are going to do is solve a numerical, and you will be solving along with me, so that you can cross check the values and you can tell me. So have you got all these formulas? Can we move ahead?
No, sir. No, sir. Sir, please wait.
Yeah, yeah, okay, no issue. Write them down.
Excuse me, sir. Hello?
Sir told that power out is here, so please wait for connection to restore.
Yeah, okay. So I'm back and sorry for the interruption. But see, this is the beauty. Uh, Even we are the premium institute, we do not have supply. Even we have got 1 megawatt power plant, but still this supply cuts off. Of course, we have got DG. DG comes back, but the problem is internet connection. The server doesn't restores the connection quickly. So that is the biggest issue. Anyway, let me share the screen again. I think you have noted down the formulas.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, in the beginning of the class, you had shared a test link, but none of us, means most of us, are unable to submit the test. It is
Because it
showing.
was automated. It was automated. It was
Uh,
deliberately designed to start at 5:15 to check that which people are joining at 5:15 or
but
not. Because
my
I observed that some of the people are joining at 5:34 that late. Okay, so make sure that next time you people are joining the class in the right time and everything, and you do all the setups. Okay.
okay,
Fine.
sir.
So let us start with not this one. Oh, I think I missed. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So there is one thing I think I have missed before we go to the we go to the problem. Local apparent time. Obviously, I have given a fair idea about that. I haven't just defined it. The time at which sun becomes overhead. So as I've said, there will be difference between the standard time of that country and when the sun is exactly overhead. And for in India, we have got the standard line about 82.5, but we have the cities on both the sides of this longitude. So that's why there is a common time, but that may not be the geographical time where exactly which can be calculated from the sun position. So that's why this local apparent time has to be adjusted, and then it is a very straightforward time. So this is the standard time that what we have. Then longitude, how much is the difference between the longitudes from your standard time and the local time positions? So of course you are converting into the hours, and then the equation of time will be again adjusted for that, so that you can find out the local apparent time. So that will be time with respect to the physical position of the sun. I think you have noted down this formula as well. So I think then we can start. Okay, so T local is the local time, then longitudes of the standard and local time. Fine. So all the terms in the equation are in hours, and that's why the conversion is okay. So let us start solving the numerical. So calculate the declination angle, local apparent time at 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. is the standard time. So that time may not be the physical time, and the hour angle, and let us say the collector. Now, let me tell you, whatever the geometry and these calculations are applicable for solar PV, they are also applicable for solar thermal, because the input is the same, the source is the same. Okay, so that's why collector, for normally it is called as the thermal collector, because literally there is a collector and then there is a concentrator. In case of PV, normally it's a panel. Okay, so anyway, so the location is Mumbai, so north and
Again, power of Satold.
Yep, sorry again. So I am back. So the law is that whenever once the light goes, Digi will come up. When again the power comes up, Digi will go back, will switch off. So again there will be interruption. So now think that this is the situation of the top 15th ranked college institute in the country. Now think about how these you know what you call it as small schools will be educating the student if this is the condition over here, and how these teachers would be getting pissed off because of no internet, no power, and no proper what you say equipments and whatnot. Anyway, so let me share that screen again. Yeah, so I think uh, anybody solved anything? Declination angle? Hello? I think this slide was with you, right? So you must be calculating, correct?
No, sir.
Ah,
No, sir, it
so
wasn't visible.
it wasn't visible. Okay, now is it visible?
It wasn't there.
Now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. I think this is Nadim who is talking, right?
No, sir.
No, दूसरा वाला. I can fairly recognize his voice. Anyway, so can you calculate the declination angle first? So first of all, what you need? This is on the 1st of October. So you have to count the number of days. So n is 274 that you have to use. So declination angle, you can use that expression, and please let me know the value. On Friday, this will be more frequent, the power outage.
Minus 4.22.
Hamvir Dev.
Minus 4.21.
Minus
Hamvir Dev.
4.215.
Hamvir Dev 353. Not there. Okay. Ritika Bansal.
Yes, sir.
What's the answer?
Minus 4.07.
Minus 4.
07.
Okay, so roughly around 4.12 or 4.07, whatever your answer is. Okay, so you have got delta. Next, you have to calculate a local apparent time at 10 a.m. So again, use the formula and find out. So this is the formula, and I think you require equation of time. Okay, so I have displayed the graph of equation of time. So corresponding to n equal to 274, roughly you find out what is the equation of time, and substitute, get the value. Anand Kishore. Anand Kishore.
Yes, sir. Didn't get the value yet.
Please give me the value. Samarpita Panda.
Yes, sir. Calculating.
Yeah. Now, what is one thing probably I haven't given, but expected that you should know? Any quantity which is not given, however required in this formula? Yes.
Standard longitude.
Yes, standard longitude we require. So what is the standard longitude?
82.5 degrees east.
Yes, 82.5. So 82.5 minus 72.5. So that is about 10 by 15 plus equation of time is roughly 8 or 10. You can take 10 by 60. So that is 1 by 6 plus whatever that 10 by 15 and plus t local. How much time it takes? It doesn't even require calculator. Yeah, what's the answer? Eight or 10, whatever you take equation of time, because it is from the graph. So it comes out to be 10.8 hours.
10.56.
Yeah, okay, whatever. 10 point,
10.8, sir.
Yes, sir. 10.8.
rough. Okay. So roughly 10.8, because it depends on what will be your correct equation of time. So 10.8 you can convert, so that becomes 10 hour 47 minutes. So now here what you have to understand, over the whole country, it will be 10 o'clock as per the clock, but at that time the local apparent time would be 10 hour 47 minutes on this particular day. Next is we have to calculate what? Hour angle, and hour angle expression you have, so you can substitute the values and get the value of omega s. Amresh Misra. Amresh ji. I think it must be tea time for most of you, right? Amresh ji absent. Okay. Yeah, what's the answer? So Mumbai location is again 19.12, and then already you have calculated the value of delta. So both you can substitute and you can get the value of omega s roughly around 88 degrees, right? Is that what you are getting? 88?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So now continuation with this, let us go to the next problem. Continuation. Okay. What will be the angle of incidence in Mumbai on 1st of November? Previous one was what? October? Yeah, 1st of October. This is 1st of November. Okay, anyway. So you have to calculate again. So you have to calculate angle of incidence. Mumbai location, you know. 1st of November. That is in the afternoon. Afternoon as per the local apparent time. So 1st of November N is 305. So you can substitute again, you can get the value of delta for this calculation. So now you can do quickly.
Minus 15.36.
Minus 15.36. Okay, fine. And what will be the hour angle at the noon? Because we are talking about at noon, right? So afternoon relative. So obviously omega will be 0. So incidence angle, we know the expression for incidence angle. So you can again substitute the values and you can get the value of this cos theta or theta. So theta is around 34.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. So I think everybody is getting the answer. So nearly you have to substitute, but you should be careful about the conditions. Like in this one, it is indirectly given that our angle is 0 because we are talking about the afternoon, okay, or rather LAT. That's why the LAT is mentioned. So we can go for the next one. Sunshine hour angle and day length. That is what we have to calculate. And we have changed the location a bit. It is at Nagpur. During the month of March. Now that is another what you call it as the change. Now here we have to assume few things. So when we say during the month of March, we have to calculate the average for month of March. So in that case, we will take a day which is somewhere in at the mid, and here we can take March 16. So your n will become 75. So now you can proceed with calculating declination angle and so on. So give me the answer for this.
Minus 2.417.
That's 2.41. Yes, perfect. So then that is the value of delta you get. So you can proceed for the sunshine hour angle and then S max. So sunshine hour angle can be given by this. Any answer?
$89.06.
Yes, 89.06. Next one is the day length. So day length is simply 2 by 15 into this. So it will be 11.87 hours. So roughly you can say 12 hours. So on that day would be roughly around what you call about 12 hours in Nagpur. Okay. So this is how depending upon the locations, you will find out that the sunshine hours, day length, and everything is going to change. And ultimately, this is going to affect, because once obviously the availability of the sun is affected, the power is also affected. Now next, that is what we have to calculate, how much solar radiation we get on a tilted surface. Why we say tilted surface is because we can, we can simply keep a panel horizontal to the Earth's surface. What will happen on a particular day? Obviously, it may happen that it may give the maximum, but maximum power output. But that is not what our objective is. So if we have to optimize it, we have to find out its angle or its right placement, so that when we consider the total amount of power in over the year, that should be maximized. And then our common sense, I think a few slides back I have told you, if we are in the northern hemisphere, the sunrise, the sun movement will be from the extreme Tropic of Capricorn towards the Tropic of Cancer, right? So obviously, when we are facing towards south, that is what the maximum sun movement we can see. It is not going to go, especially when we are in, let us say, we are beyond that Tropic of Cancer. The sun will never go on our back. So it means what? The panel has to be facing towards the south for northern hemisphere. So it is expected that the solar radiation, solar panel has to be a tilted surface. So let us calculate the solar radiation on a tilted surface, right? So the the angle at which we are going to tilt, it should be such that the radiation should be maximum, and this is a function of the incident radiation, and it will be maximum when it is perpendicular to the horizontal plane, Okay, so this angle at which we are going to set this panel, that is the surface, we are going to call it as surface slope. So obviously that angle can be 0 to 180 degree. And then this surface can be rotated horizontally. So there will be surface azimuth angle as well, that is the gamma. That is the angle between the surface normal and the south direction. You have to, if we are talking about x and y, xy is the plane of the Earth's surface, then z is the azimuth that I'm talking about. So if you are rotating about that z axis, that is what the angle you are going to get. So let us say that we have got this particular horizontal plane, and we are putting this array. So this angle, what we are making here is the beta, that is the angle with the horizontal. So will be the angle here. Let us say sun is at some position, and then we are having this incident radiation. So we can count this alpha. So alpha is obviously because the sun is at particular height. However, that may not be the exact particular one. And again, let me tell you, still we haven't gone into the tracking, sun tracking. Right now we are talking about the fixed solar panels or fixed surface. So on a particular day, it may happen that it is coinciding with this particular line, and it is making a perfect 90-degree angle. However, it may not be the case most of the time. Rather, on the 364 days, this will not be the case, right? So this is the alpha that we have. And then we can find out the module height in this triangle and the S horizontal. So this total angle, if we calculate, it will become the alpha plus beta. So now we can apply some geometry. This angle is alpha, so we can find out S horizontal is equal to S incident into sine of alpha. And if we talk about this S module, this angle will be replaced by alpha plus beta. Already we have found out the relation for alpha and the phi and delta based on that apparent motion of the sun few slides back. And of course, again, we are talking about the northern hemisphere. So with this geometry, you can find out, I mean, if we take this ratio of these two, we can find out S module. You can substitute the value of alpha over here. And then for a module with an arbitrary tilt and orientation, this formula will be something like that. So you can note down this particular formula. Don't write the whole slide, just write the final formula. We don't require the whole slide. Okay. So if we try to plot this particular, that is what we are optimizing, the power. So you can find out that this is the incident power, which is green. Next one is the horizontal power, and this is what the module power is. So the average daily solar radiation, when we are plotting by these three curves, and when we are converting into the power over the year, this is what is going to happen. So that's why we require the tracking, so that we can try to increase the module power to whatever the power what we are getting. So anyways, so let me stop over here. It is almost 6:05. So the point is, we'll finish the chapter in next lecture. Meanwhile, you please go through whatever the two files I have already uploaded, PDF in Microsoft Teams. You can download them. You can also revise the lectures. And also today I will upload, today or tomorrow I will upload this particular file so that you can have some idea about the angles and how exactly we are using it. So you have to kind of mug up at least one formula. The rest of the formulas are based on very common sense. Only cos theta formula you have to what you call it as mug up. Otherwise, of course, but if someone wants to derive the formula, I just write to me. I can give you the reference books for where the derivation is given, and you can go through that derivation. If somebody is really working on, so sun tracking, these things might be. I mean, if he wants to include that, probably those derivations might be important for one who is really tracking tracking the panel in project or somewhere else. Okay. Otherwise, normally what we are going to talk about is the terrestrial plants, which are normally fixed on a particular position. Because when we add tracker, obviously the cost is more, and we require again, how much power we are producing with respect to with respect to what investment we are doing. So normally the grid connected power plants will not be having trackers implemented. There will be always the fixed plane or fixed installation type of the solar power plants. Okay. So I think I'll stop here, and next time make sure that you take that test. Something similar test will be given to you. It may be any time in the lecture. As I've said, it will be always a surprise test. So make sure that you log in properly, at least a minute before or at least at 5:15. And next time I'll be pasting such a links, and you will be asked to solve some quick, objective questions. And I will give you 1 or 2 minutes. That's all, not more than that. So it will be surprised, and obviously it has got automatic cutoff. I cannot control the time over here. Automatically it will start, and automatically it will stop taking the responses. Okay. So I hope from next time you will be careful. So thank you very much. Good night.